Imagine this: developed countries proudly phasing out gasoline cars and traditional meat in favor of electric vehicles, EVs, and plant-based alternatives. While this shift may seem like a step toward a greener future, there's a catch. What happens to the older EVs and surplus fake meat that no longer fit the eco-friendly narrative? In many cases, these products are shipped to developing nations, but instead of solving problems, they often create new ones. Let's unpack how second-hand EVs and fake meat exports impact these countries, and why these well-intentioned moves might be more harmful than helpful. Electric vehicles are hailed as the future of sustainable transportation, but as they age, their batteries degrade, reducing efficiency and usability. Developed nations eager to adopt the latest EV technology often offload their older models to developing countries. While this might seem like a win-win, the reality is far from ideal. Degraded batteries diminish an EV's range, and replacing or repairing them is costly, especially in regions lacking the necessary infrastructure. Without local expertise or facilities for maintenance, these vehicles can become stranded and unusable. Charging infrastructure is another significant hurdle. Even in advanced economies, building a network of charging stations is a challenge. Developing countries often lack the electric grid capacity to support widespread EV use, let alone the infrastructure to charge them. Sending these vehicles to regions unprepared for their demands is akin to gifting a device without the charger. Impractical and frustrating. Furthermore, the disposal of lithium-ion batteries presents an environmental hazard. Without proper recycling facilities, these batteries can leak toxic chemicals into the soil and water, compounding the environmental challenges instead of alleviating them. Meanwhile, the push to introduce plant-based meat to developing nations often misses the mark. While these products are marketed as eco-friendly, they rarely align with the food traditions or needs of these regions. Many developing countries already have diets rooted in local, whole foods, such as grains, legumes, and seasonal vegetables. These diets are not only healthier, but also naturally sustainable. Introducing highly processed fake meat into these cultures creates a cultural disconnect and often fails to gain acceptance. The sustainability narrative around fake meat also ignores the farming practices in many developing nations. Livestock farming, when done on a small scale and integrated into regenerative systems, promotes biodiversity, improves soil health, and even sequesters carbon. These practices are far more sustainable than the industrial monocropping used to grow soy and peas for fake meat production. By focusing on plant-based alternatives, we risk undervaluing the sustainable methods that already exist within these communities. Cost is another barrier. Fake meat is often expensive, making it inaccessible to those in developing nations who rely on affordable, locally sourced food. For families prioritizing food security, high-tech alternatives are unnecessary luxuries compared to the fresh, inexpensive options already available to them. The push for fake meat in these regions reflects a lack of understanding of local economies and priorities, where practicality outweighs trendy solutions. The practice of exporting second-hand EVs and fake meat to developing nations often appears noble, but creates a host of challenges. These products bring environmental and logistical issues, disrupting local economies and traditions. When EVs with degraded batteries are sent to countries lacking recycling or repair capabilities, they become environmental liabilities rather than assets. Similarly, introducing fake meat undermines local farmers and food systems, pushing out traditional practices that are far more sustainable. This trend of exporting unwanted products is essentially outsourcing environmental problems. Developed nations offload their waste and surplus while appearing eco-conscious, leaving developing countries to bear the consequences. From toxic battery disposal to the disruption of local agriculture, these exports often cause more harm than good. Additionally, the resources and attention directed toward accommodating these products divert focus from more pressing needs, such as clean water access, healthcare, and education. If we genuinely want to support sustainability in developing nations, the solution lies in empowering local systems. Supporting farmers who practice sustainable agriculture ensures food security while maintaining harmony with the environment. These farmers often use time-tested methods tailored to their land, producing crops that are both culturally significant and ecologically sound. By investing in regenerative farming, we can enhance these practices, rather than impose industrialized solutions. For transportation, focusing on appropriate technologies is key. Instead of sending second-hand EVs, we should invest in solutions that fit local needs, such as public transportation, bicycles, or solar-powered vehicles. These options are often more practical and accessible, addressing the region's challenges without imposing the maintenance and infrastructure burdens of EVs. Similarly, building local industries for battery recycling and repair can ensure that green technologies are integrated sustainably. True sustainability is not about exporting outdated technologies or imposing foreign products. It's about developing solutions that work within the cultural and economic contexts of each region. Supporting local agriculture, investing in appropriate technologies, and building recycling and repair systems are practical steps that align with the needs of developing nations. These measures create long-term benefits rather than short-term fixes. The push for fake meat and second-hand EVs may be framed as part of a global green movement, but when these products are sent to developing nations, they often become burdens rather than benefits. Sustainability should not come at the expense of others. By prioritizing local solutions and respecting cultural traditions, we can create a greener future that works for everyone, not just the developed world. True environmental progress means empowering communities to thrive on their terms, not burdening them with the world's cast-offs. Let's rethink what it means to be sustainable and work towards solutions that uplift all nations, ensuring that no one is left behind in the pursuit of a greener planet.